Stop scrolling, because what I'm about to tell you could literally put hundreds of extra dollars back in your pocket starting July 3rd. Your Social Security or SSI payment is hitting on July 3rd this year. And while most seniors are just relieved the check is coming, they have no idea they're leaving serious money on the table every single month. Here's the truth nobody's talking about. Millions of Americans on SSA and SSI are quietly entitled to more than what they're currently receiving through benefit adjustments, little-known eligibility rules, and protection strategies that Social Security won't just volunteer to tell you about. We're talking about things like dual eligibility benefits, income exclusions that can increase your SSI, survivor benefit switches, spousal benefit maximization, and critical mistakes that could be silently reducing your check right now without you even knowing it. And with July 3rd just around the corner, this is the exact moment to audit your benefits before that payment lands and another month slips by. Whether you're on retirement, SSA, disability, or SSI, this video breaks down exactly who qualifies for more, what to say when you call Social Security, and the simple steps to make sure your full check is protected and nothing gets wrongfully withheld. This information is 100% free, it's your right, and it could change your financial situation starting this month. If this sounds like something every senior in America needs to hear, hit that like button right now so we can get this out to people who need it most. Let's get started. So let's get right into it. Because if you or someone you love is receiving Social Security retirement benefits, SSDI, or supplemental security income, what you're about to hear in the next few minutes could genuinely change your financial picture starting this very month. July 3rd is the payment date that most SSA and SSI recipients have already circled on their calendar. But here's what most people don't realize. Getting a check and getting the right check are two completely different things. And the gap between those two numbers, for millions of Americans, it's significant. We're talking anywhere from a few dozen to several $100s per month that people are simply not collecting because they don't know they're entitled to it. Let me explain how this happens because it's not your fault, and it's more common than you think. The Social Security Administration manages an incredibly complex system. There are dozens of rules, overlapping programs, income thresholds, eligibility categories, and benefit calculations that change regularly. The agency processes millions of cases every single year, and while the people who work there are doing their jobs, they are not legally required to tell you about every benefit you might qualify for. That responsibility, believe it or not, falls on you. Which means, if you don't know to ask the right questions, you could be receiving less than you're owed, and nobody will send you a letter about it. This is exactly why so many seniors and disabled Americans find themselves shortchanged month after month, year after year, without ever realizing it. So today, we're going to change that. We're going to walk through who qualifies for more money, what specific situations trigger additional benefits, how to protect the check you're already receiving, and what steps you should take right now before July 3rd arrives. Let's start with one of the most overlooked situations in the entire Social Security system, and that's the issue of people who qualify for both SSA retirement benefits and SSI at the same time. This is called dual enrollment, or being a concurrent beneficiary, and it happens more often than most people realize. Here's how it works. If your Social Security retirement or disability benefit is low, specifically, if it falls below a certain threshold, you may actually qualify for SSI on top of it to help bring your total monthly income up to a livable level. In 2025, the federal SSI benefit rate is $967 per month for an individual. If your Social Security check is, say, $600 per month, SSI could potentially make up a significant portion of that gap. Many people who are in this exact situation are only receiving their Social Security check and have never applied for SSI because they assumed that having Social Security automatically disqualified them. It does not. And if you've never looked into this, July is the perfect time to call the SSA and simply ask whether you might qualify for concurrent benefits. That one phone call could result in a meaningful monthly increase starting within weeks. Now let's talk about spousal benefits, because this is another area where billions of dollars go unclaimed every single year. If you are married, divorced, or widowed, there's a strong chance you may be entitled to benefits based on your spouse's work record, and depending on your situation, those benefits could actually be higher than what you're currently receiving based on your own record. Here's the part that surprises most people. You don't have to have been married for decades to qualify. If you were married for at least 10 years and you are currently unmarried, or you remarried after age 69, you may be eligible to collect benefits based on your ex-spouse's record. Many divorced women, in particular, spent years out of the workforce raising families, which means their own Social Security benefit is lower than what their ex-spouse earned. They could be receiving up to 50% of their former spouse's full retirement benefit, and their ex-spouse doesn't lose a single dollar because of it. The Social Security system actually funds this separately, but again, SSA won't automatically switch you over. You have to know to ask. Survivor benefits are equally important and equally misunderstood. If your spouse has passed away, you may be entitled to receive their full Social Security benefit, not just a portion of it. And the timing of when you claim that survivor benefit can make a dramatic difference in how much you receive over the course of your lifetime. Many surviving spouses claim too early out of financial desperation and lock themselves into a permanently reduced amount. If you're a widow or widower and you haven't spoken with a benefits counselor about maximizing your survivor benefit, that conversation needs to happen before your next payment date. Now let's shift to SSI specifically, because there are income and resource rules within SSI that are widely misunderstood, and those misunderstandings cause people to either not apply when they should or lose benefits they were legitimately entitled to. One of the biggest misconceptions is around what counts as income for SSI purposes. Many people assume that any money coming in will reduce or eliminate their SSII, but that's not entirely true. The SSA actually excludes the first $20 of most income from the calculation, and if you have earned income from working, they exclude an additional $65 per month, plus half of anything you earn above that. What this means in practical terms is that you can receive some income and still qualify for a full or partial SSI benefit. People who don't know this sometimes turn down small amounts of extra work or financial help from family members because they're afraid of losing their SSI, when in reality the impact might be minimal or zero. There's also the issue of in-kind support, things like someone paying your rent or buying your groceries. The SSA can and does count this as income in certain situations, which can reduce your SSI benefit. But many people don't know that this applies to them until they're already hit with an overpayment notice. Understanding the rules around in-kind support before it happens is essential to protecting your benefit. Speaking of overpayment notices, this is one of the most frightening and stressful things an SSA or SSI recipient can encounter, and it's happening to more people than ever right now. An overpayment notice means the SSA is claiming they paid you more than you were entitled to, and they want that money back. These notices can be for amounts ranging from a few $100s to tens of thousands, and they can come completely out of nowhere, sometimes years after the overpayment allegedly occurred. Here's what you absolutely must know if you ever receive one of these notices. You have the right to appeal, and you have the right to request a waiver. An appeal challenges whether the overpayment actually occurred or whether the amount is correct. A waiver says essentially, even if the overpayment happened, I shouldn't have to pay it back because it wasn't my fault, and repaying it would cause me financial hardship. Both of these options must be requested in writing within 60 days of receiving the notice. If you do nothing, the SSA will begin withholding money from your monthly checks to recover what they say you owe, and once that starts, stopping it becomes significantly harder. The most important thing you can do is act immediately and don't panic. Request all the documentation behind the overpayment, review it carefully, and if anything doesn't look right, challenge it. Many overpayment decisions are reversed on appeal because the original determination was based on incomplete information or administrative errors on the SSA's part. You have more power than you think, but only if you use it. Now let's talk about the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, and why it matters so much heading into the second half of this year. Every year, Social Security benefits are adjusted based on inflation as measured by the Consumer Price Index. For 2025, recipients received a 2.5% COLA increase. While that might sound modest, it means real dollars added to every check. And if you weren't aware that this increase took effect, or if your benefit didn't seem to reflect it, that's worth investigating. Additionally, some recipients, particularly those on Medicare, need to understand the interaction between their Social Security benefit and their Medicare Part B premium. For most people, the Medicare premium is deducted directly from the Social Security check before it's deposited. When premiums go up, your net Social Security payment goes down, even if your gross benefit increased. There's a protection called the hold harmless provision that prevents your net benefit from decreasing due to Medicare premium increases, but it doesn't apply to everyone, and understanding whether it applies to you is important for knowing exactly what to expect in your July 3rd payment. Let's also talk about work incentives for people receiving Social Security disability insurance, because this is an area where a lot of people are leaving money and opportunity on the table out of fear. Many SSDI recipients believe that if they earn any money at all from working, they'll immediately lose their disability benefits. That's not how it works. The SSA has a concept called Substantial Gainful Activity, or SGA, which for 2025 is set at $1,550 per month for non-blind individuals. As long as you earn below that threshold, your SSDI benefits are generally not affected. Beyond that, there are specific programs like the trial work period, which allows SSDI recipients to test their ability to work for up to 9 months, cumulative, not consecutive, while still receiving their full disability benefit regardless of how much they earn during that period. There's also the extended period of eligibility that follows, which provides an additional 36-month safety net. These programs exist precisely because the SSA wants people to try to return to work without the fear of instantly losing everything. But most recipients have never heard of them, and that fear keeps people financially stuck when they don't have to be. Here's the bottom line that ties all of this together. The Social Security system was built to protect Americans in their most vulnerable moments: retirement, disability, poverty, widowhood. And it does provide that protection for tens of millions of people, but it's a system that rewards the informed. It rewards the people who ask the right questions, who know their rights, who appeal decisions that don't seem right, and who understand that getting a check doesn't automatically mean you're getting everything you're entitled to. July 3rd is coming fast, and whether that date means a retirement check, a disability payment, or an SSI deposit, it represents money you've earned, money you're owed, and money you deserve to receive in full. Don't let it pass by without taking at least one proactive step to make sure your benefits are accurate, maximized, and fully protected. If you're not sure where to start, call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213. Ask them to do a full benefits review. Ask specifically whether you might qualify for additional programs. Ask whether your current benefit calculation is correct. Write down what they tell you. And if you receive any notices or letters you don't understand, don't ignore them. Respond within the deadline and get help if you need it. Your money, your future, and your peace of mind are worth fighting for. And now that you know what to ask for, you're already ahead of most people in this situation. Stay informed, stay proactive, and we'll see you in the next one.